Yeah, looks like we're here, and certainly we're happy to have you on tonight with us as we surge. Yeah, as we surge into this conversation tonight. Um, it's a good, strong topic tonight. Why the men in relationship cheating? Uh, Certainly, we're glad to have you on. I don't mean to be redundant, but anyway, listen. I want to make a few little approaches before we go there. We've had some technical issues. I've told you before that we are bridging over. Tomorrow is the day that we're supposed to be set for our channel. We're supposed to be set for our channel on tomorrow. We get the channel date and time that we continue, and we are certainly happy to have our channel date and time and number. Let's put that on there, Brother Richard, and the number that will be on the regular TV, your direct TV, your Comcast TV. We'll be on it with the number. Our updates on the television station will change aggressively tomorrow. So be prepared. Be prepared for that. As we're excited. Hope you're excited with us as we commune in that area of television, not just on your devices, but rather on your television in your living room. We on your television living room right now. You have to have Apple device, you have to have the Amazon device, or you have to have the Roku device. We will be on cable. Yes, cable. DirecTV, Comcast, and we'll be on the local channels at a certain time in the hour of it. So, with that being said, come and join us. Come and join us and be excited with us as we celebrate on tomorrow the incoming of that incoming of television. I'm a little worn out. I'm a little tired, but I have a responsibility and a duty to do, and certainly I'm going to get it done. So tonight we talk about why the many relationships and why the cheating. Let's detail that. Go into detail, and then we're going to let the others in. Dr. Stevens has made his arrival. Dr. Boyd will be with us directly. Um, we don't discuss these shows before we go on these shows. These topics are thrown out and we tear it apart the best way we can, and then we jump on live with it, with this topic. So the night topic is why the relationship, why the many relationship, why the cheating is happening in marriages and in relationships. Let me open up the can and then we'll go from there. Many relationships are in trouble because the one that they are with seems to be not enough. Nobody wants to take the responsibility for the lack in their relationship with each other. The man don't want to take the responsibility. The woman don't want to take the responsibility. So it leads to open relationship for men and women to go out and keep company with others, with other men and women. And Dr. Bard has made it too. And what happened is we become hunger for the appetite that we really want, but we never take the time out to let that person that we know that we're dating or married, what we require and what we want in their relationship. So we get in relationship not really happy, but happy, if that makes sense to anybody. We're in those relationships, we want to love, we want to do this, but the person is continuing to fail you. But however, that person that you are with is the person that you happen to choose to love. So rather than let that person go, ladies, men seem to hold on to you, and we feel in the gap on the side. Not meaning for us to take the other woman to bed, because the opportunity is there that we can do it. But it's there for to balance us, to keep us at a balance, so we can stay faithful really to you. Now, I know that's not making sense to a bunch of ladies because you're saying, how is it that you can be faithful to me, but you'll keep it company with another lady? Okay, this is how it works from the men's perspective. And I'm going to let these two gangsters jump up in here and tear this thing apart. And if they challenge what I'm saying, it's good because iron sharpen iron. But men have a conversation with a woman to better himself for the woman he with. It is not the man's intention to sleep with the other woman. It is his intention to learn from her, to hear from her what he's not hearing from you, lady. That's why the relationship and the agony of relationship and the cheating, as you suppose call cheating, happen. Then when you fail to give your man, your husband, due diligence, you just told that other woman, take him out and ride him like a horse. Now listen, I'm bagging out of here, and I'm gonna let Dr. Bard and Dr. Stevens come in here and greet you, and then we're gonna go into this program and we're gonna try to rip it apart. Come on, Dr. Bard, and bring it to us.
Amen. Good evening, everybody. Good evening. I'm so excited to be here on the live and celebrating here, doing this great work with the great Dr. Stevens in the house.
Yeah,
looking like the black dog.
Robin is here.
Yeah, he looking like the black Joe Biden right about now. Hey man, I'm just excited to be here. Another great episode. Looking forward to the conversation tonight.
Yeah. Come on, Dr. Stevens, bring it on in, baby. Oh, Dr. Stevens.
Well, I see you gentlemen with your baseball caps on. Apostle has his baseball cap turned backwards, and Pastor Boyd comes in every week. He baseball cap, nice jersey. I'm trying to come with a button-down shirt, or I say, well, hey, I'm cool too. My cool just a little different. I said, look at him. Go ahead.
Love the bird down, man. I love it. Hey, that's one of them polos, ain't it?
Yeah. Well, this is actually our logo for.
Man, that is nice.
It is nice, man. Real nice, for real.
Yeah. We appreciate it. She got good taste. She got great taste. Because now this leads us into what I want to peel that onion back on, in terms of what the apostle is discussing and the topic that's up for tonight. I'm trying to stay as calm and cool with the topic. I gotta be cool because some would suggest I get too hype, but you're so excited. I understand. So I'm calm, I'm serene, I'm relaxed. So listen, within this modern culture, relationships are going to be defined in ways that we've never thought of.
Yeah.
And it's that term is taking so many shapes. Marriage takes so many shapes and have so many different variations. There are various concepts and things that the law has exposed, and the treatment of various people in that courtroom, how one would be treated as opposed to another one would be treated. What you're going to have to embrace, what you have to deal with. Yes, and that's why even if we're going to use various terms to signify exclusivity within that relational connection, I would rather consider covenantal connection. That which is in line with the covenant, because humanity has skewed and redefined and have given so many definitions and so many shapes of what marriage is.
Right.
We definitely would do ourselves a disservice and a misrepresentation of what we hold dear if we try to attach ourselves to this ideology of what marriage is overarching.
Right.
we would totally have to step outside of what the covenantal requirement that consists of man, woman, Christ, and the church. So
Right.
we really don't want to we really don't want to use this world system definition. That's what I would like to bring out in that regard.
Right. Well, Dr. Ball, let's hear from your perspective.
Here's my thing. When a man or a couple or spouse is having some trying to want to what's that?
What's the matter, baby? You sucking at the hurt you down like you have the promo here. We ain't you loud and
working in ice or something. But anyway, hey, this is my position on this.
Yeah.
Now, again, let's go back to what you initially said, that we're looking at outside counsel or encouragement from someone other than our spouse.
Right.
And you're making how men will find what you want to say, consolation,
right,
with a female concerning maybe his issues or her issues. And the big thing is that some women will have a problem with a man confiding with another woman about things that's going on if he's married, about what's going on in their marriage.
Right.
And but here's the thing that I my position is this. You know, because let me just first go, negative with this. You cannot confide in another woman without becoming emotional attached to that woman who's giving you somewhat a feminist affection or listening that you ain't getting from your spouse. A lot of times when we go to another woman, some cases, men going to another woman because they can't talk to their own woman. Sure. In some cases. Sure. And then there are other cases where men utilize that to get with another woman. Mm-hmm. They make it all about their problems and their issues that they're going through, which would then start to create that sensuality and not necessary consolation. Mm-hmm. And most men will use that channel. Now, there are some few men who confide into some women. But here's my thing. The Bible tells us, let the young women seek the elder women, the ones who have character, the ones that have experience of living in these areas of life, but practice their faith. Well, I find it very interesting that we don't confide into people that can help us, but we conveniently go to people that can have empathy for us.
Right.
Because if you really want to better yourself or better the situation, it would good if you really have it so strong, especially you thought to see that it's more personal. There's therapists, there's some things that you can go to other than a woman who don't have no experience other than an ear for you to hear. Bottom line.
Can I say something?
Wait, let me finish my argument.
Okay.
So now when that time comes, because I did it, and I couldn't help but because I was getting from that woman what I wasn't getting from home. And that's how I slipped into that relationship, because I got comfortable. I got comfortable and I got to talking about any and everything. There was no more, the barriers came off, layers came off, clothes came off. You know what I'm saying? So, cause I ain't got, just that much involved. But I believe, again, I can't make a stand and say it's wrong. I don't know, nobody can say it's wrong for another spouse talking to another male or somebody that they've been confined to, especially somebody that's been there for the years and it's non-sensual. They close like that. I don't see nothing wrong.
I can't go with Joe. No, go ahead.
Whenever I get my shot, let me know.
But yeah. I didn't think nobody would, but I do know this. I'm just saying, you go to that person, and let me put it on here before Dr. Stephen go and bring it out some more. Look here, it's not you going to them, it's how much you go to them.
Yeah,
that's the problem. That's what
that door.
Right, Dr. Stephen, I'm backing up.
With being objective, I want to highlight one of the things that Pastor Boyd said while being objective. I would like to use as an analogy the tale of two kings and their interactions with women. We're all preachers, therefore we are quite familiar with King Solomon and his father, King David. They both had an obsession for women. They both desired women. Both of them, their greatest failure, their most notable failures came with women, was associated with women. However, the Bible said that King David was a man after God's own heart, and that Solomon, if you follow God, such as your father David did, I'm going to be with you. Right. Solomon, the Bible declares that Solomon's heart was driven from God, and he no longer followed God. The Bible declares that strange women drug his heart. Strange women drove his heart from God. Now, here's the difference. David lusted.
Right.
Solomon gave his heart to those women. The Bible declares, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth what? The mouth speaks. Out of an abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. Solomon talked so much, confided so much, gave his heart so much, he began to worship what she validated.
Right.
David lusted. Most notable sin he ever committed was with Bathsheba. We can list the other ones as he numbered Israel. We can go through that. We can go through a litany of things that he did that was crazy. But his most notable one was connected to his lust for Bathsheba. And yet God says, that man is after my own heart. What do you mean? There's a major difference, and I'm not talking about the less or the sinful act. Solomon's heart went where those women told him to. David's body went where his lust told him to. When David was confronted, he repented in sackcloth and ashes. When Solomon experienced the turmoil of his heart being driven from God, he was suicidal. He was a manic depressant. That's why we see in the book of Ecclesiastes, when he deals with vanity, vanity, life is nothing but vanity. That don't sound like a man whose heart was towards God. But his heart was towards the strange gods that those women convinced him of to build those idol temples. And he followed the worship that coincided with where his heart was. His heart was towards them, so he sought their approval. David's lust was towards them, not his heart. I hope somebody get it.
Right? And I agree with you. I do. And that's a very strong biblical put. And that's Bible. And that's the most strongest you're going to get. But when we're dealing with this subject, we got to bring it to the table where these young men and men are eating at.
All right, here we go. I'll bring it there.
No, let me jump in here
That
too.
pillow talking killed you.
Y'all ain't let me finish. Y'all ain't let me finish.
All right, go ahead.
All right.
You go good. All right.
When we start bringing it to the table, then we have to address the issue. Because if you start looking at prostitution, I'm just telling you, I did my homework on this. Prostitution, most men leave their wives and their lady friend for prostitution. Why? Because they sit right there and do one thing that the wife or the lady friend that they're with won't do. You know what that's called? Listen and insert. They insert themselves as a prostitute. Now she's getting paid, and I want most of the women on here, if not all of you, that grab this. Every man that go out and fool with a prostitute, and I am not for a man fooling with a prostitute, especially with the disease that's going on, and on top of that, they're playing Russian roulette with your life. So I'm not in agreement with that at all. However, every time the man is sitting in a woman's face, or she's a prostitution, whatever, that don't mean he's having sex with her. It means that he's having a commune with her. He's entrusting her voice. He's entrusting her thoughts. He's entrusting how she reacts. Relate to him when it comes to that. I know it's funny, boy, but where I'm going.
Yeah, because you said a prostitute is a great therapist. I don't know about that one now. He paying a prostitute for therapy.
Yeah.
The crazy thing is this. This is the crazy thing. The crazy part is so many of these ladies that work in those exotic areas, they work in that exotic field. It may sound comical, but one of the things that they desire to do is identify doing various things that would express the pleasure of a man.
Right. Yeah. It is
now hold on. And before anyone goes into a sexual connotation, let me explain this.
Right.
From the time she see you, someone is coaching her and showing her and have told her, be nice to him. Smile and say hello. So various things that was just that's can I say it, and it may sound bad. They do the exact opposite of what is considered strong from women. Ooh. They're nice. Don't look at me in that tone of voice. It's not. Listen. Don't act like you didn't go to high school with some of them. Don't act as if some of them didn't go to college with you. Don't act as if some of them not in our families. Come on, man. Don't do that. Come on. It's not like we didn't. It's not like we didn't know them. They're nice. And watch this.
I got too much information on this prostitute.
Hey, but hold on. Stop. Hold on. Stop. Let me go here. Can I please dive in? Please let me go here. Can I please go here? Let me have a piece. Hey, you don't have to go anywhere if you are knowledgeable and observant enough to study and pay attention to how women act as opposed to how men act.
Yeah.
If a woman wants something from you, if she wants to express, listen, I want something from you. When a woman care about you, when a woman really desire you, most men don't know what that's like. Because even if, hold on, let me go a little deep. I'm going to rip it apart. Even before you would consider this whole area, because I am not an advocate for prostitution legally or illegally. I'm sorry. Let's take that away. Yeah. But let me go and dive in here since everybody want to go in. Let me go and get my slice. If we're going to look at it objectively, most men, so many men don't know what it's like for a woman to really desire them. For a woman to really desire them. I'm not talking about desiring what you want. Desiring what she wants. Desiring what you have, desiring a lifestyle, and desiring her. desiring her immediate problem to be solved. I'm talking about desiring you. I
Yeah.
don't care if she eating a sandwich. She like, I'm eating a sandwich with Stevens today,
Yeah.
and she enjoying it.
Yeah.
Enjoy. She would rather eat a sandwich with you than eat filet mignon with old boy that's rolling on dubs. Most dudes don't know what that's like
They
because
don't know
they
what
gotta
that's
get the
like.
bag. They gotta get the bag before they even understand if a lady really authentically like them. And by the time they get the bag, by the time they get the money, they don't know if that lady really like him because she never had to see his struggle days.
Nah.
So she don't
never
know.
heard
He don't.
them things.
Oh,
Yeah.
listen.
Yeah.
You got a lifestyle of 150,000.
Right.
Of course, I can offer something worthwhile. I make 200 grand a year. I make something. Yeah, I can offer something worthwhile.
Yeah.
I am a benefit to you. When I
Right.
got my own money, tell me that the normal woman wouldn't rather spend your 200 grand and save her 40 or 50. Don't look at me in that tone of voice. So watch this. For a brother that can identify, I don't have no money. I ain't have no money when I met you. I was struggling when I met you. I had a vision and a hustle. That's all I had. She said, well, baby, you got a vision and a hustle and you going to get it. Well, listen, I'll buy your tool belt. Yeah. Somebody that'll be committed to it. Most brothers don't know what that's like. They don't know what that's like because their money gets them where they are. Or it's something else intrinsic. They got a dirty Mac. I'm a dirty Mac on the man you with. I'm going to talk bad about the man you with. Maybe it'll make me look better. But if a woman wants you, she wants you.
Right.
Period.
And that's the thing.
If she wants you.
You gotta get her.
Hey, listen. Life will show you if she wants you.
There you go.
Life will show you that.
So you can't get that from home.
No.
So you gonna
it's a lot. Hold on. Stop there. There's a lot.
With somebody that's profession is to build her clientele.
Yeah. Let's see. Yeah.
So she building her clientele because this is nothing but business, but you thinking it's something intimate and that you're getting and that's helping you. I don't see how the two. Now, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong.
Look at. I bet you won't.
Back up. Give me 50 feet.
Get that up there.
I know you coming. You got your shades on. You supposed to be cool now.
You got your
Keep your shades on. You supposed to be cool, man. Give me 50 feet. Now, listen. I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
I have to totally agree. When a man becomes desperate and desiring that type of having that type of desire to have intimacy is and he has to go out there and pay for it to get it, or have some woman to build. It's like some woman said on there, I think who it was, Katina said, stroke his ego. But I want to reinforce what he said.
Yeah,
what
Lindsay said that.
His job, that's what she do. She study men. She get information about you that's gonna keep you residual income. That's what it is. It's business.
All right.
So what you get.
We paying for therapists, then.
All right. So can I deal with this? Let me drive down here.
But here it is. You ain't going to no prostitute for no therapy. Let's go ahead and let's keep it real.
They going.
All right. Can I flip? Can I flip this?
Prostitution is on a sensual basis. That's what the business for. They ain't got no office. They ain't got no couch. They don't have no degree. No, they might have degrees. Let me take that back. Yeah, some of them got real, some of them high profile. Yeah, they got degrees. you know. So I ain't gonna say they ain't got no degree because that's wrong brand. But at the end of the day, you're relying on something, or you selling for something that is there to entertain you and not him. Right. That's just the bottom line. Well, she's there for the entertainment. Because once the session is over, once the 2 hours, now you want to pay some more money, and stay in there and talk all you want, you gonna put another $1,000 down
Watch
there.
this here. Watch this though, boy. We all of us come out of the coaching. We all come out of the coaching. Stephen is still coaching. You ever heard of, you remember Bishop Gabriel Patterson
Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
and Mother Louise Patterson.
Mm-hmm.
At that time, Bishop Patterson was married, but he was going through some very strong adversities in his marriage. It was to the point where his marriage was really over. And he would go to the park and sit in the car and read his Bible and listen to music to study at a quiet point so he have a message. Up come the prostitute, Mother Louise Patterson. And don't tell me that woman wasn't some pretty.
Mm-hmm.
Mother Louise Patterson was beautiful, baby. And she was always dressed. Well, they didn't never have, and I'm telling you the story that he told me personally out of his own mouth at the church, Abundance for Blessing, the church down there in Memphis. He told me this whole entire story. He did. And he told me that's how he met her, and he will pay her, but he never slept with her. And she would talk to him and tell him what to do when he got home to soothe his wife, even though it was going the other way. He said to me, if it wasn't for the wife he's married to now, Mother Louise Patterson, then his marriage would have went to the rock very bad. It would have tore up the church. It would tore up everything. That's what he told me out of his own mouth. He said after everything settled down, he got a divorce. He said the members found out, his staff found out and told him, you better not marry that hooker or we leave. And he told him, well, you might well get the pack in your bag because that's who the Lord said my wife is, and that's who I'm choosing for my wife. And he married her. And look what she helped him build. We're talking about a prostitute now. Built him something up. I'm not saying men don't go out there. Wait, hold on.
Go ahead.
I'm not saying men don't go out there looking for no prostitute. I am not telling you men to go out there looking for a prostitute. I'm telling you, no. But I believe, and I'm finna shake some fairy tales on this one, that most men that are pastors, there are men that are in the church, are really sick of church girls. Now I'm gonna hit that and I'm gonna get off of it because they don't build, but they know how to take. They do. So I'm gonna hit that part and I'm gonna leave that alone and we're gonna swing out.
But let me say this for Dr. Stephen. I'm gonna let the club come. I'm gonna make this one statement. Let me tell you who this do not work for. If you are a whorish man, this is not your conversation.
You gonna cut in on me, man.
No, I'm just saying. No, I'm just making that disclaimer. If you are a whorish man, this disclaimer do not work for you. I don't care if she's a nun with a Don Bishop and she been mute and cut and everything else. You gonna get that tag. You gonna get that tag if you are known like that. The story of Bishop G. Patterson is remarkable because he wasn't a man known to be out there dealing with different women when he was going through. Like you said, he was in the car doing his work. I can see a romance build out of that, but that ain't.
This ain't for everybody. It ain't gonna happen for everybody.
How many times you think that's gonna happen?
They ain't gonna hardly happen, Doc. I'm be honest with you.
That's why I said so. But I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna let Stephen let the gangster come.
All right.
I want the camera down so I can look him in the face.
Please,
I want to see this.
I'm coming back because I got some more to add to this. But go ahead. I'm gonna let y'all get in on it.
I want to read Lisa. Miss Lisa had a comment. I saw one of her comments because I really want to acknowledge what she stated. She was talking about if he's something, I'm just gonna. I want to make sure I read it.
I've been in relationships and cheating, Miss Cook. That's what we're talking about. Go ahead, Dr. Steve.
Yeah, she was talking about if I can, I'm gonna take this, or I'm gonna take. It was to the effect of.
You put it back up.
Yeah.
Hold on. Okay. Yeah. There you go. Right
okay.
There.
But if you here it goes. She says, Miss Lisa Lindsay says, but if you're just a benefit to me, I'm going to take from him. Yep. And this is real. This is real. And this is real. Can I ask you this? If she says, listen, you've got to buy me this. I was talking with some young people in college, and I asked, "Hey, how's school going?" The young lady said it, and so jovially, it was quite comical. I need me a sugar daddy. Ooh, this is expensive. Tuition has gone up, and they were jokingly saying it. I'm not saying that they were out scouting sugar daddies or anything of that sort, but I do want to identify the first immediate thought. The first immediate thoughts, as I dissect what I heard, and Miss Lindsay's statement says, "But if you are just a benefit to me, I'm going to take from him." The way I heard that is that a woman knows naturally that she always possesses something within her human anatomy that men will purchase. If I need a quick solution to a problem, I have something that some man wants. And I don't have to give it to him. I simply may only have to give him the impression.
Right.
Now, can I ask you this? Let's not destroy and seek to humiliate the prostitute because she's up front.
Up front.
She's forthright.
Yeah.
She's forthright. She's not misleading.
Right.
Can I go deeper? Look
Go.
in your Bible. She spared the Israelites.
Oh.
She was hold on now. Don't make
Come
me go
on, come on with it, Doc.
A prostitute spared the Israelites, but a Jezebel tried to kill every preacher she could.
Nah.
Every preacher she could, she tried to kill.
Philistine woman. You take care of her.
But that now, watch this. Sometimes, hold on. Can I tell you this?
This man, that's why.
Can I tell you this? Can I tell you this?
Come on with it.
What carries the highest form of immorality? This lady that manipulated this man out of $5,000, but really didn't like him. And she didn't have to sleep with him to do it. Mm-hmm. She gave him some nice cinnamon butters. Mm-hmm. She told him that shirt looked really good. She even hung out with him a few times, ate a burger with him, gave him a few fake laughs. And she enjoyed the pace of the relationship. Uh-huh. She gives him a story. I've been going through so much. I know they're trying to cut my license stuff off. And I'm gonna get my son, I'm gonna get him some shoes next week. She's already examined his temperament. And guess what he does? See, Lisa Lindsay, no, I'm not crazy. And guess what he does? Since there is something in him that says, I've got to salvage and rescue and do something to show my masculine strength in her world. And I want to impress her and show her that I'm not like all of those other guys. So I offer her some money. I offer her a little bit more money. And I notice that every time we hang out, she never has to pay for anything. Every time we go to the store, I need to go to the store anyway because I got to buy something for me. But I always end up buying something for her and her kids.
Wow.
Now, here is the challenge. She hasn't slept with that dude at all.
Wow.
So that dude hasn't, and by the time she thinks that he is trying to gain more momentum in terms of that erotic connection, she knows the time and it begins to pull away. But mind you, she's already established, I really like the pace that I really like the pace we're dating. But yet he wants to win and woo her
into a relationship.
So guess what? He's already at least $1,000 into her. That's easy, an easy 1,000. Because she don't want no Jack in the Box. She wants steak 48. She don't want Wendy's.
Where the man getting all that money from?
Hold on. Stop
The
that.
man
Don't do
got a
that.
job, boy.
Stop.
Man
See,
got a job, man.
Hold on. Let me finish painting the picture. Let me paint the picture. She won't stay 48.
Mm.
She don't want Wendy's. She want Benihana's.
Yeah.
She don't want Subway. She want Fogo de Chao. She don't want. She don't want to go to the mall. She want to go to the Galleria.
Yeah.
So all of these things, and guess what? She's not going to even give you that much of her FaceTime if you broke. Talk back to me. Because if you broke, you are a horrible probability. You're
a liability.
You're not, because y'all don't listen. Well, how do you know this? Do you listen?
No.
All we have to do is listen.
Right.
I'm all about the bag. I'm all about that bag. Because she never, can I go deeper? She is conditioned not to submit to you. She submits to the bag. So whoever's got the bag is the
That's
person
who
that
gets to win.
that leads the relationship. So she's been conditioned. Now let's get on this prostitute. You know up front. Now listen, you're not. She gonna. Why you looking at me in that tone of voice? Since we're gonna go Rahab and Jezebel, one of them was Jezebel. That great manipulator.
I want to get in on this.
Hold on, Jezebel, that great manipulator. Jezebel wasn't running around having sex with everybody, but she killed everything she couldn't control. And if she couldn't kill it, she tried to kill it. You think the Bible shows you how evil and diabolical she was, and how domineering she was, how she dominated Ahab, how she ran the kingdom. Oh, let's deal with Rahab. God said, I'm gonna honor that harlot. I know she lives in a village of prostitutes, but I'm gonna put her in history. I'm gonna allow the Messiah to come from a prostitute, from her. Yes. You know why? Because guess what? She had enough character to identify your manhood and not try to take it from you.
Boom. That's the flow. That's the flow.
Jezebel took Ahab's manhood. So what? You took his money.
And that's what we did.
The prostitute didn't take your manhood. You know what? Can I tell you something? You know why you feel so broken inside when you didn't pay for her son children? You didn't pay for her son go to college. You didn't bought her daughter a car. You didn't pay for all of this. You didn't done everything you possibly could. And now she says, you know what? I'm just tired of this. So she brings up something from 10 years ago. You know why it break you in half? Because part of your manhood went with her.
Went with her. It was gone.
That's why these brothers be blowing their brains out.
I ride the show. I'm on the slow bus. Y'all know. I ride that short bus. I get on I get on that short bus. After the big bus gone, I come out the house then and get on the short bus. I'm going to this narrative person.
Yeah.
Goes to a known prostitute to just talk. He don't go to a pastor. He don't go to someone that's spiritual. The only place he can find consolation is with a person who get paid for sex. Come on. I'm trying to understand, and here it is. I don't believe Jezebel took Ahab manhood.
Okay.
No, she didn't. No, she didn't.
Took that down.
You had to have one for it to take it. He never. That's the reason why. Let me tell you, because I know a little something about this. Most passive men finds an attraction with an aggressive woman. Most passive men finds, again, attraction with an aggressive woman. Because he's not aggressive. She is. His money ain't his manhood. His kingdom is not his manhood. If he never went to God, he never had none. So how's she gonna take something you never had? Paul said this: when I was a child, I spake as a child, but when I became a man, I put away childish things. How in the hell a woman take your manhood?
Well, can I tell you this?
Well,
that ain't your woman, that's your God.
let him answer. Let him answer, boy. You asked the question. Let him answer.
Watch this. When you lose your fortitude, when you lose your intestinal fortitude. Hold, can I finish? Let me finish. Let me finish. When your purpose in life was to be the ideal good man, whereby she will sign off your good man card and give you the good man badge. And see, and I'm not trying to be subjective. I'm not talking about the brother who's going to go buy a prostitute. I'm talking about the brother who dealt with a lady who had the character that was below the prostitute. She went in with a Jezebel mindset in order to dominate. In order to dominate him. There is no such thing as a man that wants to be dominated. And if that was, let me finish. Let me finish.
Ahab went found Jezebel. Jezebel didn't find Ahab.
Can I finish?
Can I finish? Don't put it on like she's so dominant. She went grab.
First of all,
come on, man. Y'all making these women a little bit too much power. I get that, some dominant women up there, but you gotta be a really
hold on.
You're a boy.
Hold on.
Boy.
I am not.
If you let a woman control you like that, you just a overgrown man needing a mama. That's what you need.
Well, I'll tell you this. This is what's interesting.
Mama boy.
Is that the key word, control?
Let me put this in the atmosphere. When
I
you
ain't let no woman control me.
and I'm not
controlling me, and I broke that control with my mama. I ain't never seen no woman. If a woman have that much control over a man,
okay.
y'all gonna weak man. Let me put myself on you.
Okay. Hey, watch.
The Bible said his controlling the wife. That's what the book said.
Okay.
His controlling the wife.
The Bible. In fact, can I tell you what Jezebel's name means? Her name means unsubmissive. Her name means rebel. Her name is connected to that. Her name is connected to her character. I'm showing the difference in comparison and contrasting because Ahab did not want to kill Nabal. Nahab took the loss. Ahab took that loss and say, Nabal don't want to give me the vineyard. It was Jezebel that went behind his back, signed the letter, lied, devised the plan, and then told Ahab, why you up here laying down crying like you a wimp or something? You the king, what's wrong with you?
Yeah.
And she charged him up and didn't just attack the situation. She dehumanized and stripped him. She emasculated him with his words. What are you laying down here crying like a chump? So she devised that plan. She always ran the kingdom. Listen, dig this here. You can make Jezebel not Jezebel, but Jezebel was so. Hold on now. Jezebel was so cold until the man who called down fire ran for his life.
Right.
And then told God, take my life now. That's how this same man that called down fire. Elijah called down fire, but Jezebel was so cold. Jezebel just sent a word and said, I want done to Ahab, I want done to Elijah what has been done to my prophets, to my Baal prophets. I want that done. Elijah say, hold up. Now, mind you, I'm gonna show you how cold this woman is. Elijah had killed all these men. He got blood on his sword and all over his body. But when Jezebel gave a word,
Right. One
when
word.
the witch gave a word, when the
That's it.
rebel gave a word, he ran for his life.
Like
He ran and then said, God, take my life. For why? All because Jezebel gave him a word. It struck him emotionally.
right.
What he put too much value on what Jezebel said when God had already given him the stain of victory.
That's it.
That is the comparison and contrast. I'm not saying in no way am I shaping that any man should go and purchase transactional intimacy.
Right.
But yet I will never support a man thinking that he can buy a woman's care and concern for him.
That ain't
If
gonna
she
work.
don't care about you broke, she
ain't
don't
gonna
care about you.
Your money. I'm
It's
telling you.
not, now, a man that is a man is not trying to see, can he not work, not provide for himself, not make a living and show a level of personal productivity.
Uh-huh.
That's not what the implication is.
Uh-huh.
But what we have to ask ourselves within this era, what are we promoting? We
Right.
promote the lady that is able to get whatever she want to get out of you and don't even have to be your wife.
Right.
She can get money out of you. She ain't got to be with you. And you should be paying for this.
No
You
obligation.
should be paying for this. But all of it under the premise of you need to show me how much you care about me. You need to prove to me that you really care about me. And at the same time, she may not be investing in anything. Now, the lady that's the prostitute is telling you up front, listen, you know this, you know what this is. And that man can eventually begin to develop a certain level of trust towards her because she didn't lie to him.
Right. That's what got him in the dope. She was under the direction. She didn't lie.
She didn't lie to him.
Y'all in that conversation about this prostitute.
I'm saying,
Don't do that.
I mean, free yourself. Wait. Y'all know too much about
no, it's not about too much. It's not a matter of deflecting. No, we're not doing that.
Speculation or experience.
It's an open conversation.
No,
It's happening.
hold on.
I don't want to know. Because I ain't never had this level.
Stop, hold on. Dig this. Listen, this doesn't, hold up. This is not an indication or any implication that anyone interacts with someone for transactional intimacy.
Right.
But if you just watch, read, it's all in your Bible. Prostitution hadn't just started.
All the way through. What about Margaret, the one that's
that's all through the book.
Yeah, but here
they had their own community.
Here it is. I cannot argue with you that Jezebel had a great influence in her time. But she was only in that position because of a man that was not a man who married her for the protection of her dad's kingdom. He married her for a form of allegiance.
It was politics.
His house. She didn't call Ahab. She didn't say, I want to run his life. You went and chose any man that's got a woman that's running. You chose that bad boy. Whatever. Now, I agree with you. And I'm going to go back to your point. You thought you were going to buy it. Partner, you thought you were going to buy it. Now, who get them? Don't come crying about you getting played. Don't talk about that. I don't want to look at her. That's what. Look at here. Her name is Jezebel. What in the daylight you think she was? Her name ain't even in the Bible nowhere. Nothing. You gonna turn a trick into a treat, and then you come back whining about what women will do to you.
What is that?
Now watch this.
You picked this. You ain't got enough instance in yourself to go choose a darn woman that's gonna snatch your genitals right off of up under you, and then you come crying, what women would do to women, man. That's a Jezebel. Everybody wasn't running from her. So it was because she had a kingdom behind her. And when you got a woman behind you, we all can have some influence.
Hold on. See, watch this. See, listen, here is the difference. Let me peel this onion back. God gave men authority, but there is an influence that can be placed upon that authority.
Every one of us. Every one of us.
Now here is the challenge. That's why it is imperative that when we study the book of Proverbs, he gives us what to identify in terms of the adulterous woman who flattereth with her tongue, who winks with her eyes, who begs on you to come. Come on, man. Now hold on. Now this is what's interesting.
But he's simple.
Hold on. Hold on. Stop. Here we go. Stop. Hold on. Now dig this. This is where it gets interesting. If she is able to pull you out of a place where you are paying attention, and here is the thing that is so duplicitous, and yes, sometimes men walk into their own duplicity because they are guided by what looks good and their shape. Based upon her physical features, it sometimes will determine how much of attention, I'm gonna say it again, how much of your attention will you give her? I'm just saying under normal, typical, over 50 percentile generalizations.
Right.
If she's attractive and she's appealing, she's going to at least grab your attention and you'll listen to her. Sometimes you're not even paying attention to the message because the body and the face of the messenger is so appealing. So you're not trying to pay attention to what she is saying in detail. You are hoping that you gain in her interest.
Right.
Now, with that in mind, that is not a dumb man. That is a human. But that happens. That happens.
That can I finish? Simple. Can I finish? He called him simple. Proverbs calls him read. I'll pull up the Bible. You want to come on? Don't look at me like I got the Bible on you. You come on. He wasn't stupid. He wasn't stupid. I'll pull it up, baby. Right here, right.
You done knock this stuff out. Boy, done knock this stuff out. Boy, done knock this stuff out. You better really get it back in here. Hold on. Keep on going, Dr. Steve. Give your analogy.
My point is, God made her so that it would influence various aspects of you. Period. And I think sometimes we try to make it as if men and women both think alike. You said money, or when I was giving the money metaphor earlier, I said money because financial security is important to a lady. Right. That's a part of her nature.
That's all she really care about.
And I'm not going to say that's all she care about. And I'm not going to say that's all of them. I'm not going to say all of them. But I will tell you that that's a part of her nature. Being provided for. Yes, that's a part of her nature. That's a part of, so to discredit that is to disrupt her from her nature. Just like what our nature consists of in terms of what influences our actions and what puts us in a position to stretch after her is her beauty. That's why you see through the book of Song of Solomon, when he would talk about her breasts are like melon, her lips describing her hair, describing all of the various features, because a woman can be broke, but if she's beautiful and nice, a man will marry her and want to be with her. A woman cannot be comfortable with a man that just absolutely has no money and no way of making money because her nature is different. We are different. I'm saying out of the prostitute and out of Jezebel, who was most immoral? Jezebel showed the highest form of immorality because of what she couldn't control, she killed. Jezebel's name connects to witchcraft. And witchcraft is nothing more than manipulation, intimidation, in order to garner and see accomplish every form of domination, because it's about dominating. And yes, Jezebel dominated Ahab and ran the kingdom, and Ahab was just the face and front man. That's all he was. And so if we are preparing men to just be, all right, whatever, dear, whatever you say, dear, we're not preparing men. We're not preparing men, and I think we're finding a man that's a free-thinking man that may not fit within a feminine ideology. He would be dismissed if his ideology is different, and men will sometimes despise that kind of man because he's not pedestalizing and esteeming women because it's something that he may think he owes women because of what he did bad towards women. But if I'm speaking my mind in terms of an objective, or if someone has a different view concerning the pedestalization of anyone, and we just pedestalize and honor Christ and put that woman back on a human level, and you lead your family and she supports your leadership, she influences those kids as you gain vision. But if all of us are horrible, we just have a mixed up combination of crazy.
Well, that's our time. Boy, throwed himself out. He got so hyped, he throwed himself out. I tell you, we're going to have to bring that part 2 back to this one. Part 2 next week, ladies and gentlemen. We're coming back. Listen, let's thank our co-host, Dr. Bard, for being here, and the agitator, the washing machine, Dr. Stevens, for coming in here.
Hey, take his glasses off, partner. I love Dr. Stevens.
Yeah, man.
I got him bouncing off the couch and throwing glasses off, boy. I love you, boy. Hey, thank y'all, man. I enjoyed it, man.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Salute, man. Bless you.
So next week we'll be back with part 2, and definitely we're going to make our clearance for next week on Tuesday for this show on another level. We didn't even touch the surface of this. We just introduced it to you guys, and on next week we're going to really get into the more. Listen, like, share, tag, look here, tell somebody about the show. Listen, we got a lot of views, especially on TV, on the Roku channel and the Apple channel. We got a lot of views. Listen, let's take it to the next bridge and fight. Listen, you're welcome to talk. You're welcome to text. You want to call in live, we'll put the number up. Listen, share, tag, and like. Send someone and tell them, listen, we're having a conversation why the many relationships and men's cheating. And hopefully we can give the women the understanding. This is tomorrow night. You don't want to miss the show tomorrow night. Trust me, you don't want to miss the show with Pam show with the women. Private violence, domestic violence. She got a March Madness going on here with domestic violence for the next 4 weeks. Starting tomorrow night. Very special guest. Very special guests who are willing to share their life stories with you, ladies, on how to escape domestic violence, how to recognize domestic violence before it happens to you, before you get caught in trafficking, young ladies who's being trafficked. They're looking for you all over at night, roaming around without a man. Another woman can't protect you, so they're looking to traffic you. So she's having shows on this upcoming week about domestic violence, what are the signs and how it happens privately. All right? So tomorrow night at 8 o'clock, meet Pam, Lady P, right here on the Roku, the Apple TV, the Amazon TV, right here on YouTube, right here on Facebook, Instagram, you name it. We are all over on platform. Meet us tomorrow night. If you have any information, the number is at the bottom of the screen scrolling. Listen, catch that number, call into the studio and ask for Mr. Thomas or Miss Peters or different one that you're looking for on this show. Call in. We'll put you in contact soon with them. Live right here in the studio. Call in. All right? We'll see you guys the next round. Y'all be cool. Y'all be easy. Love you.